and you'll see a lot of comments like this too. A lot of people will, a lot of women I've noticed will complain about like certain celebrities who look amazing. Oh, if I had the perfect dietitian and the trainers and all the money in the world where I didn't have to work a regular job, well, I could look like that too. It's like, no, you couldn't, and I'll tell you why. Because you don't have the right attitude. Hey guys, I want to make a video addressing a certain comment that I came across, and I'm not going to go on a rant here. This is more like a sermon. I'm going to preach to you guys the brotherhood, and you'll understand, you'll appreciate it, because it really kind of ties in to these kind of movies back here, right? And these actors in their real lives and the characters that they played. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, Jean-Claude Van Damme, for example. These were basically guys that did not make excuses. They just got shit done.
I'm gonna get you, man. I'll be back, man.
Like I said, I'm going in.
And I think we can all respect that. So this comment, by the way, occurred on a short video that I made called "Who Has the Best Back Kick?" And Michael Jai White, GSP, they both commented talking about. Michael Jai White said Joe Rogan's #2 and Benny the Jet Urquidez is #1. Now, I don't necessarily agree with everything Michael Jai White says, as if you've seen some of my videos, you'll know that. But I do agree with him here. I think Joe Rogan's back kick is stellar. Same with Benny the Jet Urquidez. And some people will even say, oh, that's not even a back kick. Well, okay. Spinning side kick, back kick, a lot of people might use that interchangeably. Technically, they are different kicks, but whatever. That's besides the point. So this comment, by the way, and this guy's referring to Joe Rogan, this guy named Adrian T. He said, of course, that's what happens when you have millions to get the best trainers in the world and all the time in the world to practice because you don't have a real job. And I replied to him, wrong attitude. There are many great people in all fields, including fighters and athletes, who came from nothing and achieved greatness. And then he replies, wrong reply. This isn't about them. It's about Joe Rogan. How original. Then I replied, it's actually about you, because people with your attitude achieve very little in life. Which is a sad fact, man. So don't be that guy. Nobody has to be that guy. That guy doesn't even have to be that guy. That guy is that guy, and that's unfortunate. But I didn't explain. The guy's comments don't even make sense in general. We're going to get to the whole attitude thing in a second, because that's going to be the focus of this video. But anybody who knows Joe Rogan's history, and I'll just read you a little bit. Joe Rogan's been in martial arts for over 40 years. During high school, Rogan was a practitioner of Taekwondo and gained a black belt at age 15. He soon became the Massachusetts full-contact Taekwondo champion for 4 consecutive years. By the age of 19, Rogan won the U.S. Open Taekwondo Championship and, as a lightweight champion, went on to beat both the middle and heavyweight title holders to obtain the Grand Championship. So, yeah, there's even footage of Rogan knocking a guy out, just blast him in the gut with that kick in 1987. So Joe Rogan had those skills in that kick way before he ever became this multi-millionaire for Spotify. Way before he ever became the Joe Rogan that everyone's heard of. And as far as not working a regular job, I'm pretty damn sure Joe Rogan worked well over the equivalent of 40 hours a week to get to where he's become. The hours, look, in America, on average, you're full-time if you work 40 hours a week. But if you really want to get ahead, it's basically every hour after 40 that's going to get you ahead. So whether you focus on just a career, anything after 40 is obviously going to put you ahead of the pack. If you have a career or a job that you don't necessarily care for that much, but obviously you got to work to pay the bills, well, work on your side hustle, man. Spend another 10, 20 hours a week on that side hustle, because those are, again, the hours over 40 are what's going to get you ahead. So this guy, and you'll see a lot of comments like this too. A lot of people will, a lot of women I've noticed will complain about like certain celebrities who look amazing. Oh, if I had the perfect dietitian and the trainers and all the money in the world where I didn't have to work a regular job, well, I could look like that too. It's like, no, you couldn't. And I'll tell you why, because you don't have the right attitude. So don't make excuses. Do not make excuses, because you are setting yourself up for failure. But this guy, by the way, he started trolling me. He started going on some of my other short videos, some of my own trading footage, and he'll say, oh, you know, how gay, like I'm gay or something. And it's like, dude, what are you, in middle school, man? It's like, come on, like, whatever. Absolutely so immature, but I'm not surprised that he's that damn immature based on his attitude. And I really feel sorry for these people, man. I really feel sorry for these people because they will literally never achieve anything in their lives meaningful. They will never achieve greatness in any way, in any aspect of their lives, simply due to one reason: attitude. It's not that they're incapable, it's that their entire belief system is warped. So if they change their attitude, they could change everything in their life. I'm sure you've all heard the saying, whether you believe you can do something or not, you're right. Of course, even if you believe you can do something, doesn't mean you're going to get it done. But having that kind of attitude, that can-do attitude, is going to lead you in the right direction, where you can meet the right people, you can acquire the right skills, you can gain the right kind of knowledge, and then you can actually make that a reality. But again, it's only if you have the right attitude and the right belief that you can do it. And then at least you set yourself up for a chance, and you set yourself up for success. The one thing that makes humans different than any other life on the planet, by the way, it's imagination, belief, and attitude. Think about going to the moon, for example. Like, that was literally somebody's vision. And yes, it was a collective effort, but just the math involved, the literal rocket science involved, the engineering, all of that involved because people believed that it could be done and they had the right attitude, and we achieved that. Like, as a human species, that's something to be proud of, right? I mean, people not too dissimilar to ourselves actually did that, and it forever reshaped humanity, it created history, and it set the bar really high of what we know is capable. And that's always going to be the bar. Well, we landed on the moon, you should be able to do this, you should be able to do that, right?
And we never should have landed a man on the moon. It's a mistake. Now everything is compared to that one accomplishment.
It's good to have that bar set so high.
I think we all would have been a lot happier if we hadn't landed a man on the moon. Then we go, they can't make a prescription bottle top that's easy to open. I'm not surprised they couldn't land a man on the moon. Things make perfect sense to me now.
But look at the moon tonight, guys, and just realize, man, there were people that literally worked out the math, engineered the rocket, trained for it, and landed up there. Not only did they not kill themselves landing up there, they actually left and got back here in one piece. That is absolutely amazing if you think about it, man. Like, we shouldn't take that for granted of what is actually possible. But going back to attitude, how do we apply this in our own lives? Well, for one, do not make excuses. The human ego is pretty fragile, and I'm pretty damn sure excuses are a defense mechanism, right? Like that guy who made that comment in the Rogan video. We know he's jealous of Rogan's kicks, but he has to justify to himself that he doesn't kick like that or have those martial arts skills because he doesn't have all the best trainers in the world, and he has to work a real job unlike Rogan. Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure if that guy won the lottery, he would not end up getting Joe Rogan's martial arts skills. That takes a lot of hard work, time, consistency, and the attitude of like wanting to be great at something. And if you have that attitude, you will find a way to be great at something. But because he doesn't have the right attitude and doesn't want to put the work in, it's much easier for people like him to just take things out of their control. Wouldn't you guys much rather be empowered? Like, being powerful is such a good thing. It's a great thing. The ability to shape your own destiny, right? To really focus on something, work towards it, and then achieve it. That's how you derive meaning and value in your life. Focusing on something, getting what you want, whether it's an amazing relationship, a great career, improved health and fitness, and it's a constant effort. Like, you have to consistently, diligently work hard on it. Because let's say take health and fitness, for example. Once you build your dream body, you can't just start eating donuts every day. There's a lot of work involved in maintaining that. And if you marry your ideal partner, you have to nurture that relationship. Otherwise, it'll whittle and create resentment, eventually leading to divorce. So life is never static. It's always evolving. It's always moving, always changing. We're constantly evolving physically, mentally, spiritually. One workout in the gym, for example, is not going to do very much. 1 week, okay, now you're at least starting to build the habit. 1 month, you should have the habit down. 1 year, now you're getting real results. It just builds and builds on top of itself. And so do the thoughts in your head, by the way, good and bad. So be very careful what you expose yourself to, because those thoughts and beliefs start building, and then they start creating your attitude. As far as like negative thoughts, building and building, that's just going to completely set you up for failure. And that's really what pisses me off with really successful, accomplished people like Oprah Winfrey, LeBron James, or The Rock, because they, for whatever reason, push a certain narrative that I believe is very negative for a lot of people. They need to be pushing like, look, I didn't have the ideal background, circumstances, what have you, but look what I achieved. Pretty much the top in my field. So take what I did, look at me as an example, and it's really hard work that got me there and the right attitude. That is what works, despite your background. But they kind of go along with more of a mainstream narrative, right? And want to victimize people, man. It's really, really sad. I want to empower all you guys, man. Just like these movies back here, for example. And this is how it ties into the channel and the whole message. It's characters, and even the men that played those characters, like Schwarzenegger, Stallone, Van Damme. What do those guys have in common? They overcame insurmountable obstacles. They did not make excuses, and they had the right attitude, where basically they just got shit done. Look how Stallone even articulated it in Rocky 3, for example. Even if he couldn't beat Clubber Lang in that rematch.
And if I lose?
And you lose. At least you lose with no excuses. No fear. And I know you can live with that.
It's okay to lose as long as there's no excuses, right? I mean, sometimes you just can't win something, but don't have any excuses. Because again, that character, he can live with that, right? You can live with that. Like if you have a dream or a goal, you're not making those excuses, but you don't achieve it, you can live with that. That's fine. At least you took your shot. At least you were up to bat. You saw the pitch coming, and then, maybe you struck out, but damn, are you happy that you took your shot, man? And I think people could be satisfied when they look back on their life and, hey, man, at least I took my shot, right? The saddest thing is somebody who does not take their shot and instead has excuse after excuse of why they never took their shot. But nobody has an ideal circumstance or scenario to work with. But things need to get done because life doesn't wait. Year goes by, decade, before you know it, the whole life, it's over. And I'll tell you something, I didn't come up with this part by myself, but I exposed myself to great speakers and I thought about it. And it's true. It's very sad though. The most valuable place, the richest place in the entire world is the cemetery. I mean, think about all those amazing ideas that people had in their head and that just died with them. Like human potential literally died. Because I know we're all capable of something great. People have different strengths and weaknesses, but every person has a God-given talent that they were born with. And I think it is very important to take what you were born with, to foster it, to work diligently and consistently hard at honing it, and then sharing it with the rest of the world. And not just for your own selfish gain or glorification. Basically, we all need to make some kind of positive contribution to society. Like we owe that to the generations that came before us and help create what we have now. And I don't think we should take what we have for granted. I think we got it way better than so many people, definitely better than any previous generation before us. We have these creature comforts, we have the internet, we have so much knowledge at our fingertips. We need to take best advantage of that as we can. Build on top of what the generations before us have built, right? Add to it in some way. So as far as that cemetery goes, it's really sad to think about how many great books were never written. How many just died in the brain of that now dead corpse? How many great movies were never made, songs never composed, products never engineered, businesses never started. So many. That human potential just died with these people. So it's a new year. It's 2023. I'd recently put up a poll on the community post asking what you guys are most interested in working on this year, right? We've got the New Year's resolutions. And a lot of cool results with that. But basically, make it your goal this year. Not just this year, but every year for the rest of your life. Make it your mission, in fact, to not let your human potential die with you. Like, leave something behind for the next generation. And I'm not saying you got to be like this great inventor or businessman per se, but leave something positive behind. It might even be a simple act of kindness. Simple acts of kindness go a long way. It might be just empowering people, bringing positivity, Do not spread that negativity, though. Do not make excuses. It is a virus that will kill human potential and your dreams with it. So instead, try to encourage people in some way. Try to find something that you really feel can make a positive contribution to society, and make sure to leave the world a better place than when you got here.